Are you a physician looking to take your own profitable medical expert witness practice to the next level? MedicalExpertWitness.com is the ultimate program to learn how to brand yourself as an expert witness and get yourself seen. Sure, building a reputation in the field from scratch has its challenges, but don't let them hold you back. MedicalExpertWitness.com understands what you are facing as they were once there too. In fact, 10 years ago, CEO Dr. Jordan Romano started his own consulting in the medical malpractice space. This experience has included providing expert witness testimony, reviewing medical records, and analyzing complex medical cases. Dr. Romano has become well-versed in the intricacies of medical malpractice law and has worked on cases for both plaintiffs and defendants in nearly every state in the U.S. And now, his company provides medical professionals with the tools and support they need to supercharge their career as a medical expert witness. Sounds great, doesn't it? Absolutely. Just imagine having the support you need to brand yourself as a medical witness expert too. Now that's powerful. So what are you waiting for? Visit medicalwitness.com today and gain access to a mentor who can connect you with attorneys in need for your specialized knowledge, expand your network, find new cases, and watch your business thrive. Hello, today let's talk about 3D scanning and virtual reality training for law enforcement officers. Law enforcement officers seeking training with virtual reality, 3D scanning usage, deployment, data collection, data storage, processing data, registering projects, and preparing demonstrative evidence for court have access to a range of resources. On this episode of the Virtual Reality Reconstructionist, we will provide an overview of some available options. So let's start out with manufacturing training programs. So manufacturers of 3D scanning equipment often provide training programs specifically designed for law enforcement agencies. These programs cover the technical aspects of operating their scanners, including deployment, data collection techniques, data storage, best practices, and basic data processing. In this episode, we will discuss all of these referencing to laser scanners. So let's talk a little bit about scanner operations itself. Manufacturers normally would cover this. So the manufacturers will provide information on their scanners such as operating temperatures, features, batteries, accuracy, and the potential for field applications. Regardless of different industry applications, the focus is the same. In forensic applications, we are concerned primarily about the scene evidence. This allows the operator to locate each item in the scene. Secondary, we document the scene to give witness and suspect perspectives. Part of the scanner operations is the basics of the scanner itself. Operators should be taught that a laser light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation can be used as a time of flight or a phase shift design. An understanding of these options will help operators communicate what their specific equipment can do and why. Operations such as storing the scanner, where all the controls are located, and the description of their function and the scanner's limitations. When we speak of limitations, we normally discuss the distance parameters of quality scanning, weather conditions, impacts such as rain, indoor versus outdoor lighting impact to the scanner. These are all operational impacts scanner operators need to know. The limitation of the scanners are not a bad thing, just an item operators need to know so the planning process can be done purposefully. So let's talk about deployment. Deployment can be discussed in these trainings. Scanners are a line-of-sight documentation type device. It literally has to be able to see the scan area to document the scene. Strategies of placing the scanner and vertical height should be discussed for a complete scene documentation. 360-degree photography should also be in the training curriculum. It is common for the public safety to have already been taking digital photos of a crash or crime scene. In digital photography, you only have one setting for a 360-degree shot, so the operator needs to know the scanner's setting options to best capture the scene to obtain data for their visual products. So on to data collection. Data collection should be in the manufacturer's training curriculum. Scanners have settings available for operators to change based on their scenes and the end data they need to create visual deliverables. Settings on scanners such as resolution allow the operator to determine how far apart the scan points are on surfaces. These settings may change from indoors to outdoors or even based on the amount of evidence found on scene. Quality may be a concern due to the laser scanner limitations. Laser scanners tend to have a hard time on highly reflective surfaces, so they need to be on the surface longer to obtain data. Data collection is also related to the strategy an operator takes on setting locations of scans throughout the project. An example may be multiple scans at various heights around a body to obtain the best comprehensive data collection of the scene. So they should cover storage as well. So data storage is a major administrative duty in public safety. With the addition of the body-worn cameras, digital photography, and now laser scanners are taking up a large amount of space public safety has not been required to store in the past. Scanners are also starting to use wireless solutions to transfer data. Public safety must consider the security of the scanned data due to the nature of the criminal offense being documented. Most scanners continue to use and support the transfer of scanner data from the scanner to a computer with a portable storage device such as an SD card, a USB drive, or even Wi-Fi to a mobile device such as a tablet. As scanner manufacturers secure CJIS, which stands for Criminal Justice Information Services Security, they will be able to transfer crime scene scans to the agency in an accepted, secure manner in order for the public services to use this online type of data transfer. Data processing is currently proprietary to each manufacturer. Each manufacturer has software to take the individual scans into a registered complete scan project. This registration process brings all of the scans into a project relative to a single coordinate system. Open source software is available to do various functions with 3D data, including registration. Normally, when public service agencies purchase the scanner, the manufacturer includes the software with the scanner. Scene setup. When first on the scene, it's best to establish your crime scene parameters. Determine what evidence may be available and assess the safety of the scene. Standard operation is to conduct a walkthrough of the scene with officers or investigators. This can provide you with information on what has been found on scene and allow you to walk the scene to understand what you will have to contend with when scanning the scene. Per the guidelines of the use of terrestrial LiDAR scanners in criminal justice, it is best to establish an inner and outer perimeter. With the two perimeters, the inner is established to cover the crime scene area. The outer perimeter is designed to house the stays of the equipment you would use to document the scene. This can include crime scene vehicles, cameras, scanner, sterile gloves, Tyvek suits, pens, notebooks, video cameras, evidence bags, water. You get the idea. The two perimeter setup also allows you to better restrict the crime scene access. It is standard to document the personnel that enter the crime scene. Crime scene personnel can meet and talk with investigators in the outer perimeter. When using 3D scanners, it is common to get spectators, outer security, and crime scene personnel in the scans. The 3D scanners do a complete 360-degree documentation of the scene. Therefore, personnel, spectators, additional vehicles, and buildings are documented that are not part of the crime scene. The inner and outer perimeter will help the situation as well. On roadways, barriers or cones are normally used to establish the incident scene. This outdoor application will sometimes mean a lane of traffic remains open for vehicle traffic to remain active while the investigation is being completed. Since vehicles will be traveling in this lane, the 3D scans will document some of the vehicle while in operation. This data is known as noise. To maintain data integrity, the noise data is hidden from view, not deleted, in order to show transparency later in court that the data has not been improperly manipulated. The same issue may occur in outer perimeters. When scanning, say, the exterior of a house, 3D scanners may collect data on officers holding outer perimeters or even spectators outside the crime scene tape. Again, the same process: hide the data, do not erase, and maintain the integrity of the evidence as best possible. This type of situation can be avoided with agency personnel through training and communication. While on scene, educate fellow officers how to determine when the scanners are operating and where they should stand. Scanners do have visual and audible aids to make the operator aware the scanner is working. This is another item to educate others so that you do not walk in an area of a current scan while it is operating. Another part of the scene and setup we need to discuss is the crime scene sketch. This should be in your process and remain a part of the documentation. It first provides you time to sketch the scene and find valuable evidence. Second, it provides a pre-planned location of your scanners to properly document the evidence and scene line of sight. It has been noticed that Scene Sketch provides a valuable planning tool and a tool for someone else to register the scans later if necessary. The sketch of the scene with scan locations also allows the operator to start working through the process of the vertical height of the scanner. It is best to vary the vertical height of scans to allow different perspectives from scan locations. This is paramount in situations that require the operator to document a body, blood patterns, trajectory of bullets, vehicle damage, gouge marks, tire marks, and all evidence locations. I normally have students think about this while they do their initial walkthrough of a crime or crash scene. If you have to stoop over and change your point of view to evaluate and find evidence at the scene, you should be changing the vertical height of a scanner to allow a similar perspective. As part of the training out there, software vendors offer training as well. Software vendors that offer 3D scanning software also provide various training courses. These programs focus on utilizing the software for data processing, registration of projects, and preparing evidence for court. Training may include techniques for data alignment, merging scans, generating accurate measurements, and creating compelling visual presentations. Most scanners have proprietary software. The manufacturer will provide the training. Most have options online. Some may be open source, such as Cloud Compare. Data alignment and error data. Most scanner softwares are covering error rates of the data. This is part of the process to show that the operator is aware that the 3D scanner project will have error associated with the data. This is by no means a showstopper. This is part of the process and the digital measuring devices. The error on the project should be known and provided transparently. Merging scans may be done in a pre-registered status and then finished with the software. It can also be done with the raw scan data in the software. Accurate measurements can be verified and should be verified on each project. This is done with a controlled, known measurement. Operators should provide in the scan a known or reference measurement in the project. This known measure, or say 4, 5, or even 10 foot, can be verified for accuracy in the software after registration. Again, this gives the project a way to check for accuracy, and the equipment is able to provide the accuracy stated in the error report. Visual presentations can be attained with the data collected on scene. Visuals can range from a video walkthrough the scene, a flyover video to show an overall perspective, or even a trajectory study to show the paths of the projectiles in a shooting incident. The 3D data is very powerful and can be used to study blood patterns to obtain an area of origin for an incident study. Recently, 3D data has been used in conjunction with Unreal Engine to recreate an incident shooting scene so a jury can use it and see what happens from the various points of view in the incident. Many law enforcement training institutes and academies someday may offer specialized courses or workshops on 3D scanning technology. These programs can provide comprehensive training on the usage of 3D scanners in law enforcement contexts. They cover various aspects such as deployment strategies, data collection methodologies at crime scenes, data storage protocols, data processing techniques, and effective evidence preparation for court. I see this happening probably on replacement personnel after the scanner is purchased. Another opportunity for training would be the professional conferences and workshops. So the industry conferences and workshops focus on law enforcement technology, forensic science, or digital evidence, often include sessions dedicated to 3D scanning. These events provide an opportunity to learn from experts, gain insights into the latest advancements in the field, and explore case studies that demonstrate effective use of 3D scanning in law enforcement investigations. The International Association of Forensic and Security Metrology, IAFSM, offered a 3D scanning operator course in a generic format. This allows operators to have a certification related to 3D scanning and not focus on specific manufacturers' offerings. And they've done this for, I think, 4 years, and they recently did it at the Rex conference, and they stated that they'll continue to offer that course in a generic format, not related to any manufacturer. Online training resources. Online training platforms offer training courses and resources related to 3D scanning uses and techniques. Most of them right now are manufacturer-based, but there are individuals offering these. These platforms may provide self-paced modules, webinars, or interactive sessions covering topics like data collection, processing workflows, and evidence presentation. Some resources may be available for free, while others may require a fee or subscription. Another option for training would be a collaboration with experts. Law enforcement agencies can collaborate with forensic experts or specialists who have experience in utilizing 3D scanners for law enforcement purposes. Experts can provide on-site training tailored to the specific needs of the agency, sharing best practices and offering guidance in effective data collection, storage processing, and evidence preparation for court. That would be where RRR Investigations comes into play. We offer that as a primary service across the United States. So let's talk a little bit about virtual reality. Virtual reality, being somewhat new to training in law enforcement, is limited to the way a department chooses to apply the technology. Firearm Training Systems, FATS, F-A-T-S, uses a screen projection to either train for firearm skills or have been adapted to respond to recorded incidents. This allows officers to work on marksmanship and even response skills to simulate police calls for service. These systems have been elevated to a multi-screen to establish an even larger scenario or even surrounding the student with an immersive experience. The immersive experience is being introduced to public safety through virtual reality also. VR can be used in multiple purposes. On a basic level, VR can be used in a classroom setting to immerse students into a crash, crime, or even a fire scene. VR can be used as an academy learning tool regarding most subjects such as traffic and penal code. And improved learning and retention can be obtained through VR. This would allow police academies and improve knowledge of all types. Another level of VR to be used is in de-escalation. This is a major policy and reform category in public safety, and VR is a tool to help train and improve de-escalation verbal and physical skills. Immersive scenarios can be designed for the student to interact with different incidents and people. The situations allow officers to make decisions and use skills to de-escalate a situation in a safe environment. A possible future use of VR in public safety will be as a scenario-based mechanism to test officer skills. VR can be used to test crime scene technicians on a mock crime scene. Crash investigators can be evaluated on their skills with a VR simulated crash for them to work for a certification. VR training would consist of the manufacturer of the system training a department trainer on that system. The agency trainer would then be responsible for training personnel on the topics of each training session. So let's look at the VR applications in a future episode with more detail. It's essential for law enforcement agencies to consider their specific training needs and budgetary constraints when selecting the appropriate resource. The combination of manufacturers and software vendor training, along with participation in conference or workshops, can provide a well-rounded understanding of 3D scanner usage and its application in law enforcement. Collaboration with experts can further enhance training by incorporating real-world expertise and customized guidance. That's all for today's episode of the Virtual Reality Reconstructionist. If you enjoyed the show, please be sure to subscribe and leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform. And if you have any feedback, suggestions, or questions for us, you can reach out to me personally at ryan.ryder@rrinvestigations.com. Thanks for tuning in, and most of all, stay safe and stay curious.